The goal for this podcast is to better our understanding through conversation. Communication is one of the easiest, yet hardest things to do. Whether that's communication of feelings, thoughts, or opinions. But through communication, new perspectives begin to take place. Throughout the various topics and opinions discussed on this podcast, we hope that we can add value, understanding, and a few laughs to your day. Thank you for listening, and enjoy the show. Welcome back to the Real Talk Podcast, man. I'm your host, Bruce, and I'm here with my man, E. What's going on with you,
How
E?
you doing, brother? It's a good day to be alive, man, above ground.
It is, man. It is, bro.
So, I guess how we can start it off, man. I want to shoot some things at you, man. You know what I'm saying?
Cool.
Just kind of do a little spitball, so to speak.
Let's go.
Spitball session 101. Nah, man. First and foremost, man, how you doing today, man?
I'm good, man. I'm just chilling.
Word.
Enjoying the day, bro. Relaxing a little bit. That's it, bro.
Did you have to work today?
Nah, man. I had a whole week off, bro. I had a whole week.
What?
So
That's why you look different.
Man. Hey, man.
Boy, I'm looking real different.
You know what I'm saying? I should, you know what I mean? If I could, I'd cross my legs, bro. Sit back.
You might as well. Boy, look like you got berries and juices in his head. Everything look different. That brother got a whole different.
Hey, bro.
Hey, I like what you're doing.
Hey, man. You know, relaxation is a must.
It's a key.
It's a key,
It's
bro.
a major key.
When you definitely get it, and you're able to move how you need to, as far as like sleeping in, getting rest, getting things done. It kind of like takes some of that pressure off, and then you just come back kind of rejuvenized.
Bro, like seriously, bro, you look like you got a little glow to you and all.
Hey, man, I appreciate it, man.
Like
you
real.
Know what I'm saying? Drink water, people. You know.
Well, that's a plug. He ain't even gonna tribute to the fact that he just said he got a lot of rest this week. But drink water, people.
Hey, man.
So what kind of water they should be drinking? See, now if you're gonna put it out there, because what
you like?
Huh?
I just honestly, bro, I ain't no water person. Like, I just drink whatever it is. It could come out the faucet as long as it's got some ice in it. I can't drink warm water. Like, I don't mind warm water, but it's gotta have some ice in it, bro. So any kind of cold water, whether it's from the fridge, I drink from the sink.
I like alkaline.
Alkaline water. I heard about that, man. I haven't tried it.
That's healthy.
Even seltzer water. Like, I heard of people drinking that. So like, I haven't got like too deep into it, but like,
yeah, man. Boy, look here. I'm getting to the point now, man. Like, you can get some alkaline water, man. Throw a little, you know what I'm saying, cucumbers in that thing, man. Put some lemons in that thing too, man. Let that thing sit up.
I have tried that.
Let
like,
it sit
the fruits
up
and stuff. Infused water.
Let it sit up and fill up. For real. I'm telling you, boy, yeah, for real.
So,
you be moving different.
So like the fruits make it alkaline, or you buy alkaline water?
From what I've heard also with like certain water, like I've heard certain people talk about like spring water too,
right?
You know, and like with the minerals and stuff like that, and then like having a lot of like the you have those like the cucumbers and then like the lemon like sitting in there and stuff, and you know it's like it's crazy, but like with the chemical like the breakdowns and stuff like that, it eventually gets you to that healthy type of water that you need, you know? But like growing up though, like my old man, like you say, bro, he like you drink water.
That's it, bro. That's how I am, man.
But not like these days though, you got to be careful what you're putting into your body too.
No, I will say like not cut you off, but like growing up, my grandma, my mom had well water, so like it really went straight out the faucet like that. Now it's, you know what I'm saying. I usually
that's good too.
Most likely I probably hit it out the fridge, but like I don't mind going to the faucet either.
Yeah.
But most of the time it's like through a filter or something.
Yeah, man. Look what we talking about water now. Drink water, people.
Yeah, that's it.
That was the plug.
That's a plug, right?
Yeah. I'm like seriously though, like it's crazy when you think about like the body, right? How the body. I tell a lot of people the body mimics like the earth in a sense. Like it's so much of the earth that's composed of water, and then our body is so much of our body that's also composed of water.
Yeah, it is, man.
It's like, man, you definitely got to put in you what you losing. So
that's true.
You know,
100%.
a lot of people don't even think about that. I can't stand water. You know what I'm saying?
I heard that. I hear that all the time.
Look here. We ain't getting on that. I want to, what I would have kind of like talk to you about today, man, is like, for a lot of people, man, Thanksgiving. Whew, we getting ready to go there. I just felt it. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
We about to go.
Nah, man, like, it's interesting with like holidays, right? So with holidays, certain people are affected in different ways, and you just really don't understand why.
Mm-hmm.
You know, some people like, you know, you may have Christmas coming up And for a lot of people, they put all their eggs in one basket on that holiday. They say, "Well, we about to go hard. We gonna celebrate. It's a momentous occasion. Momentous occasion.
Family come out. Everybody. It's a huge gathering.
Hey, look at man, matching pajamas. Everybody, tis the season.
Right. Caroling and everything.
Yeah, but it's like then you always meet somebody that, in a sense, like they function like a Grouch or McScrooge or whoever. You know what I'm saying? They just, you're like, man, what is wrong with this character?
Yeah, right. You know what I'm saying?
What you might not realize is something happened, something impacted them that has them moving a certain way or acting a certain way during a certain time, and it just so happened. It may not even have anything to do with trying to bring your festive spirit down, but it's just for them. It's them now reliving the trauma every particular year.
They're reminded by it.
Yeah. And so like, even with my wife, man, it's like, man, when Thanksgiving come around, she's forced to relive the thought of her cousin, her cousin's death. We went up to Carolina one year, and I remember like got a call, and so be it. It was one of them calls you don't want to get, and come to find out they released this information to her that her cousin had been killed in traffic.
Man.
And it's like every time the holiday, this particular holiday rolls around, it's like for her, it's not
just reminded by
it's not something that she looks forward to. I guess with time, it's something that you endure. You're like, okay, it's coming up. I gotta, I just gotta endure.
Yeah, man.
But for others though, they refuse to give reverence to a holiday that they feel like, okay, this thankful holiday, or what it's often said to be, the foundation upon which this nice holiday was built upon was not nice at all. You know what I'm saying? It was very much. It was egregious.
Right. The history of it.
Yeah.
Right.
And so, when you start thinking about that, then it's like, okay, can't be mad at them either. You gotta respect their mind frame and, what it is that they're talking about and why they're speaking like that. It's just, man, holidays could be real tricky, man. It could be real touchy for a lot of people too, man. And
True.
It's just like, I think we have to be in this day and age, man. You have to understand. You have to understand why, the whys of a issue, or the whys of a title, or the whys of a problem. Mm-hmm. You have to understand it first. Understand that why, and from that why, then you start to take in. You have to be cognizant of okay, number one, if trauma was involved, if it's a difference in viewpoints, you got to understand. You got to be open-minded enough to understand that, hey, right now, being that we've started this conversation, then I need to understand that this is something that, is painful for them to talk about.
Situation.
Exactly. So you got to handle anything delicate with care,
Mm-hmm.
And so for those in the world that's taking and they're celebrating, look, what Bruce and myself, what we trying to relay is, thank God for the fact that you have a reason to celebrate. But in doing so, also understand if somebody else, if they're going through something. Don't look down on that person, or don't think the worst of that person, because they may not be as up as you are.
Yeah.
But instead, what we can try to do is, we can still try to bring things to the table, even if their table appears to be bare, and it appears to be, if it just appears to be a table that doesn't look ready for anything to be prepared onto it. Sometimes, God will put us in people's life to take in, sometimes it's just the human act of kindness sometimes goes a long way. Sometimes we got to take it. We got to wipe that table down for them. Hey,
yeah, bro.
Hey, let me help you out a little bit. What can I do? Wipe that table down, and then sometimes even if they decided, I don't really want to celebrate nothing. Okay, that's cool. Just let me meet you at your table though, and then if you don't mind, I kind of brought a couple things with me, and now you supply a feast for them at their table. Sometimes that's what it takes, man. And then let's talk about it, because I've noticed for a couple years now, you get real down around this time. Like, talk to me. Don't shoulder that stuff alone. Like, hey, like in a good book, God says, try me. Sometimes God will send us and put us in positions so that we can help take some of that weight off somebody else's shoulder, and we can help them to balance it. Because otherwise, too much weight, man, you can't walk with too. Exactly.
Yeah, bro.
But together we can shoulder the load. And, that's what it takes sometimes. So,
I like that.
Maybe that's the intro. I don't know.
Nah, bro, I like that, man. That's real.
But I guess what I'm trying to say is, as we embark into the holiday season, first and foremost, we often say, understand the reason for the season. But in some situations, sometimes we got to flip it. Sometimes we got to understand somebody else's season and why they appear to be where they're at in their season. Sometimes, just from stopping and talking to somebody, we can then understand their reason. Yeah, and in doing so, you can't exhibit help to anybody if you just go, if you go thrusting yourself into a situation without even asking questions sometimes, because you can make it worse. But just ask a question, like a genuine question, and let it come from a place of love. And I guarantee you, God will deliver you to the right, giving you the right things to say, or he will give you the right presentation to put on display for that person in their time of need.
That's real, bro. I think that's well said, man. That's well said, dog. Anything else on that, man?
So keeping it in alignment with the holiday from yesterday, let's talk about, man. I want to know what it is, man, that you thankful for, man.
Oh man, that's a good one, bro. Honestly, man, I'm thankful for life, health, and strength. Thankful for a family, man. Thankful for having income. Thankful for having a family. You know what I'm saying? Thankful for this podcast. Thankful for you. Just off the top of my head, man, thankful for a closet full of clothes. Thankful for food in my fridge. Thankful for lights and water and a shelter. For a car. Things like that. You know what I'm saying? Thankful for this, just to name a few.
Most doubt. I guess I feel it coming. You gonna ask me, right?
Yeah, I was like, yo, what you thankful for?
Turn the heat up in your Nah, but like they keep it simplistic. Really and truly, man, I thank God for allowing me to see past myself.
Now, what do you mean by that?
What do I mean by that is a lot of times, man, when you can see past yourself, then you can see much more of the world and the needs that are present within the world, and we can shrink it. The needs that are present within your society, within your community, within your own household, we can keep shrinking it, man. But just like, even if you got a dog, the needs that your dog have, you know what I'm saying? We could just keep shrinking it, but it takes you to first being able to shrink yourself sometimes. Because sometimes, man, we come across as grandiose, man, too grand, too big, too, you know what I'm saying? It's about me, and you know what I'm saying, man. Sometimes, man, when we could ask God to, to minimize us, man, and maximize Himself, then to be honest with you, man, it's a lot that could be done then. I can only do but so much. And to be honest with you, too much in me, I'm a wreck the place. Just keeping it a buck. That's just, real, because, again, that's when there's too much just self involved, then number one is, a lot of times we function from a place of self. So it's like being selfish. It's like, it's a lot of stuff that happens when we lean onto ourselves, So I thank God for just allowing me to see past myself.
That's
just,
real.
yeah.
I got I want to add something to that, man. Like introspective. I want to say I'm thankful for being introspective. You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes, you know, I'm at a place or I've just learned like, looking on the inside, how to do it. You know, I've been open to different things that has helped me to do that and learn from. If I'm looking at it as the land being myself and the harvest of being how my gifts are used to build the life that I want, right? So I would say sometimes, man, I don't tend the land because I enjoy the process. So I don't tend myself. I don't look internal because I enjoy the process, but I enjoy what tending the land or tending myself gives me. So, you know, at times I'm not able to sacrifice temporary pleasure for long-term success. You know what I mean? Also, man, observing the world around you. You spoke on that. You know what I mean? Like looking past self, observing the world around you. No matter where you are, the world could teach you a lot. And I'm a person that doesn't like winter. Like I kind of get anxious during the fall time, the winter time,
Love
man. See, so like what happens with me, man, and what I notice is that in the fall there's a shedding of the old in preparation for new. A tree, if you look at a tree, man, a tree experiences coldness, it experiences bareness, loss, and the shedding of leaves is sort of like shedding the baggage in your life. Mm-hmm. And I think that with that being said, man, you got to remember that in this time, or I have to remember too, like in this time of winter, in this time of fall, or whatever season, it's a season of preparation from old to the new, you know, and like think about a tree that never sheds its leaves, never sheds that baggage. Think about how much weight that tree gonna carry. Think about the sunlight and the light that's blocked from it being unwilling to shed those leaves. And whatever the leaves are, whether it's past, people, habits, or hurt, if you refuse to let those things go, then eventually, man, you're gonna break yourself. You know what I'm saying? And I think, you know, that aspect of life, or that analogy, man, kind of made sense this week as I'm just noticing different things. And when you brought that up, it kind of made me think about that. You know what I'm saying?
That's what's up, man. That's what's up. Man, like as I process what it is that you were just saying, man, about like a tree. One thing about a tree though, it's like the beauty in life is when you compare yourself, which I don't often do it, but in this situation I will actually. I'm gonna compare myself to a tree, right? And the one thing about it, the difference that I would say that I have versus a tree in this aspect is the fact that even me knowing and understanding that winter may be on the way, and right now winter could be whatever you may be facing in your life that might be a challenge, right? And so a tree like you, a tree already starts to prepare itself for winter as well.
Right.
You know, that's just the natural, you know, that's just the natural reality in which God had already placed within this, you know, within this thing, you know. It starts to prepare itself just like a woman that's getting ready to give birth. It's like, you know, as you go through the months of a pregnancy, a woman's body starts to change. That tree starts to change. It starts to equip itself for the process that's at hand. Now for us, or for me, speaking to me right now, getting ready for, you know, a hardship or getting ready for something that may be a challenge for me, mentally, I might try to put off on it. Even if I know it's coming, I'll worry about that later on down the line, you know. Or, you know, it is crazy because the natural progression of things is that oftentimes in the world already starts to prepare for something too. And how that looks a lot of time is right after winter is over, then all of a sudden, you know, the winter stuff, it goes and it's reduced. The price is reduced.
Right.
So at that point in time is the best time to take and buy for the winter because it's going to be a lot cheaper, you know.
Buying the off season.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, you know, but then it's like, for me, I can always try to put things on hold mentally rather than just going through it. A tree, it stays ready. It stays ready. It's rooted to the ground. It stays ready. Now, if it gets snatched up, then that's just, to be honest with you, if it gets snatched up out of the ground, that's the same for one of us living beings that's walking this earth. If we mess around and we die, it's our time. That's all that means, is it was just its time. Because you can get hurricanes, you can get whatever come through here, man. And I'm talking about strong winds. And the trees, all they do is just sway. They sway, and a lot of times they don't give. But when a tree is uprooted and tossed, it was time.
Yeah.
That's what it is. That's
real.
The equivalent to living and death. It's like, you know, for a lot of people, it's just like you never see. Oh, I ain't never seen that happen before.
Right.
Like the tree is laying on its side.
Yeah. Especially if it's like the oak.
Yeah,
big
man.
oak
Look at
wood,
it, man.
bruh.
Snatched
Like,
up.
man.
Yeah, you be like, boy. You turn around and then that's when that might take and provoke a praise. The mighty God I serve. Like that's like it touch you a lot.
That's real, bro.
That's when it get real.
I'm
like,
telling you, man. You know, yeah.
Hey,
Nah,
normally
for
so
real.
you might just walk right past. You can tell when something is just out of place, man.
Yeah.
The things that you would normally just walk past, now it's like you can't walk past. You
Nah,
gotta
you
look.
can't.
You look around for it to see who all looking. Like you want to get up close to the roots. This is what a root really looks. You know?
Right. That's
Now you
funny,
going,
bro.
hey, now you find a place where it got snatched up from. Now you got to look in the hole. Oh man, that's pretty. That's
real.
that's deep. You know. But yeah, man. Say all of that to say this, man. Like, just, you know, with Thanksgiving, man, it's like something else that I want to touch on, man. It's we have to be careful, man. And I say that because, like, God put this on my heart yesterday. We spoke about this before in the past, man. Like the moment, understanding the moment, right? And that a lot of us, we don't understand the moment. That's why we could be late when we should be present and on time. Well, to be present is really to be on time. You know, you should be earlier than present. You know, that's military talk.
Nah,
really.
that's real, man. They say if
You know.
you on time, you late, man. If you early, you on time.
Exactly.
You know?
But it's like that's how a lot of us we can show up late to a place in which our own relative wanted us to be there on time or what have you. And we show up late, we miss out on meeting somebody or seeing somebody that we haven't even seen in a long time. And then next thing you know, God forbid, you know, so-and-so passed away last week.
Yeah, bro.
And then that's when it hits you.
Yeah, that's when gravity set in.
Oh, you know what, man? I ain't seen that person in.
And then it's I woulda, shoulda, couldas.
Exactly, man. If I would have arrived on time,
Right.
yeah. You just missed them by 5 minutes. You sure y'all probably just crossed paths going out the neighborhood, something like that. And you know, no, I wasn't paying attention. I wasn't paying attention. Listen to that. I wasn't paying attention. Really, listen to it and think about it. I wasn't paying attention. That's the reason why you was late in the first place, because you lost sight of what should have mattered the most. You weren't paying attention.
It's real, man. I respect that, man. I think too, it's important because during this time, like you said, we put so much onus a lot of times on this one day. Like I'm gonna see so and so. I'm gonna see so and so, and it's like, you know, a simple reach out and call, a simple email, a text. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of times, bro, and I felt this a lot of times, bro. It's like, man, I know they busy, bro. I ain't even gonna hit them up. Like they probably
That's the
busy. They got a
excuse we
family.
use. That's
You
the
know what I'm
excuse
saying?
we
And this
use.
like that. And then a lot of times people wouldn't even mind if they hit you up, especially if you ain't heard from them in a long time. It's like it ain't. I don't think a genuine reaching out is gonna get in the way of somebody's day. I feel like somebody appreciate that more.
They're gladly welcome.
Right.
Man.
They're
And
gladly
it's like
welcome it, man.
A lot of time, and then on top of that, man, when you're doing something from the heart, man, you bring the words that need to be heard. You don't know what somebody else is enduring. You don't know what somebody else is going through. You don't know. You know, it's like, and it often happens when it's like, and correct me if I'm wrong, man. A lot of time we do that. We do this with people that we just. A lot of time we hold them to a high regard, and then we say, you know, well, this person, he always, they positive, they doing good, man.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I don't want to interrupt what they got going on, or
100%.
you know what I'm saying. But now a lot of times when you provoke to reach out to somebody, normally it's the people you think when you start thinking about it, like the last time you spoke to them, they weren't doing too good. But let me go and reach out, and that's when you provoke to pick up the phone and talk to somebody. But so, with that being said, that's when, to be honest with you, we could be missing out on delivering a blessing that somebody else need when the moment we deny ourselves of doing what it is that we was provoked to do in the first place.
Right. I
And,
definitely believe that, man.
Like,
that's I feel like a lot of times too that intuition is
It's
needed.
key.
You know what I'm saying? Like for real, because
that's your moral compass.
That's it.
That's
bro.
what it is.
It really is, man. I think sometimes when you get that urge, like, man, I ain't heard from so and so just crossed my mind, man. It ain't even gotta, even if you don't want to, if you ain't comfortable calling them, having a conversation with them, a simple text. You know what I'm
That's it,
saying?
man.
It's like, yo, it could do wonders, man. Like you said.
I'm gonna say something on that. A simple text, yeah, but no.
Why you say that?
Because sometimes you never know. How many times, bro, I tried to text you or you tried to text me, we thought it went through, it never even went
Yeah,
through.
that's true.
So you just
That's true.
sometimes, bro, pick up that phone. Like,
That's real.
And
That's
that's
real,
something, man. It's like that becoming a lost art, man. I got a shouts out to my young brother, man, by the name of Carlos, man. I'm gonna shout him out, man, because one thing I respect about this young brother, I've known him since he was in high school, and he looked up to me as a mentor. And I just want to put him on blast real quick, because one thing I love about this young brother is, no matter what, I'm older than him, but age means absolutely nothing. You can learn from anybody or anything.
100%, bro. Learn from everybody and everything.
I strongly agree. You can learn from a dog.
100%.
Yeah, man. But so what he showed me, man, over the course of time, he showed me, man, that when something matters, bro, treat it like it matters. What I mean by that is, a lot of times, like, my mind will run up on them, and I might text, and then it's like, man, at times, man, I had gotten bad with texting back. Now I see it, and I'm like, okay, I text him when I get an opportunity. The opportunity never arrived. Therefore, what I should do is, if I say I'm gonna text him, I should text him right then and there.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But I learned, with him, for him, if he texts, I don't text back. What he'll do, eventually, he'll pick up the phone and just call. Then now it's like he forced my hand. I look at the phone, I'll be like, yo, I'm a little busy, man. I'm going to have to call him back. And if I don't call him back, it's like he'll text, you all right? How's the family? Stuff like that. And, like, I mean this, man. I just thought about that brother yesterday, man, or the day before. And I'm thankful for him because, again, he's, God's using him to teach me too. Like, the important things, treat it like it matters. It's like, man, it's too easy to get lost in this world. When, to be real with you, the world ain't really doing nothing. We already know how it's moving.
That's crazy.
We know.
You say that, bro. That's
You know what
so
I'm saying?
real.
But the things that matter the most within this world,
We put that on the back burner.
or procrastinate.
Yeah, man, that's real, man. I even say that with my mom. Like, my mom's spoke to me about this plenty of times. So, like, she'll text me, and then I'll be like, I'll get back to her, or I'm too busy to text back. And it's like, it's a simple text. You know what I
That's
mean?
it.
And I don't know who else struggles with that, man. But, like, whether
think
it's
a
a
lot
parent
of
or
us,
a dad
man. A
or
lot of
whoever,
us.
somebody that's close to you, you like, man, that's mom's, man. I'm gonna talk to her whenever.
Yeah,
like,
man,
I talk to her all
man,
the
she
time.
doing good, man. She all right.
And it's like, but you answer that call for that job, or you'll answer that call for that.
You
the
be
bank.
waiting on that
You
too.
feel me?
Yeah.
And it's like, if that job fails or any external thing fails, who you gonna turn to?
Mom always there.
You feel me?
You know what I'm saying?
Dad,
Family always
member,
there.
right. So it's like,
well, most.
Right, yeah, I
Because I
say
know
most.
somebody just now when you said that, mine ain't there. But most of the time, the people that matter the most will be there. That's
right,
what we
man.
saying.
So it's like, I feel like, you have to always remember that, like, it's certain people that's on that gotta answer their call back. Hey, what's good? Everything good? All right. I'm kind of busy right now, but can I give you a call back? You straight?
Exactly.
You know what I mean? And then some people, it's like, you can look at it and be like, all right, I'll get back to you when I get back to you. But you got to have that tier class, man. I feel like, family, parents, spouse, those come first. You know
Most
what I'm
definitely,
saying?
bro. Most definitely.
So earlier, man, we was talking about, like, shedding, right? The shedding of how, like I said, I draw the similarities between how during the wintertime a tree sheds its leaves to prepare for the new. And I think shedding is a tough thing to do, man. And shedding, it boils down to avoidance of these 3 things. And I got it from this YouTube channel called Dry Creek Wrangler. Dry Creek Wrangler. It's an older gentleman. I like the way he talked, a lot of wisdom. I don't know much about him, but from what I've heard from him, man, it seemed like some good stuff. And he said shedding is shedding, it boils down to the avoidance of these 3 things, which is unpredictability, fear, and the unwillingness to invite or embrace discomfort. And these things are vital to keeping you from getting soft, man, because if you avoid these things, man, you could be crushed by life. You know, the avoidance of fear, the avoidance of unpredictability, and the avoidance of inviting and embracing discomfort, man. That's what life is when you boil it down to its simplest form, I feel.
Repeat that one more time for me.
These things are vital to keeping you from getting soft, keeping you from getting crushed by life. And I think that's super important, man. You want to jump in?
No. Repeat the thing. What the things are?
Unpredictability.
Unpredictability. So don't
Fear.
remain predictable.
Well, you
Or is he saying-
could say it like that, or the fact of just you want to try to predict everything that's gonna happen, because unpredictable things gonna happen all the time. You're gonna try to go out and crank your car, battery gonna be dead. You're gonna try to run to get this appointment or this date night, and the kid's gonna cause you to be late.
Happen.
You know what I'm saying?
Gotcha. Whatever can happen sometimes will happen.
Right.
Gotcha.
Newton's law. I think, is it Newton or is it
I know
you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I can
anyway,
remember. Yeah.
But fear is the second one, man. And then the unwillingness to invite or embrace discomfort. And then that's a big one, man, because discomfort comes in many forms. And I think the solution for these, or, you know, something that can help you get better with that, man, is finding one thing that you never done before, one thing you never tried before, and just start there, man, no matter the size. It could be camping, teaching yourself to draw, exercising, classes, whatever it is, man, just that one thing.
I like this. Here we go, bro. Here we go. What's one thing that you had never done up until this year that you did this year?
This year, man, I would say with the posting on YouTube, and I had opportunity to get tased.
All right, excluding the latter. That is like somebody want to brag, right? I got tased before.
So, all right, let me throw back. So, yeah, I would say,
How did that feel? Since you brought it up, how did that feel?
bruh, I felt like my whole back was on fire, dog. Like, when they shot me with that thing, man.
So you got hit in the front and it felt like
No.
back.
I was laying down. They shot me in the back, and so they didn't do the 4 prongs. They got ones that you shoot 4 prongs, or they got ones that you shoot 2 prongs. So I just got hit with the 2 prongs. I don't even know how many volts it is, man. But like, it felt like I was in a frying pan, bro. Like, that thing ain't no joke. You can't do anything, bro. It's like just lock your whole
Did your body
up.
lock? Yeah, I'm about to say. So your toes, hand,
Man.
all.
He shot me in the back. So what you do is you try to split the body, get the top and the bottom. And he just got me the top. So my legs could still move, but I couldn't move anything on my I couldn't even talk.
So that electrical current hits vital. So when it hits vital nerves,
Well, it just attacks the nervous system. So like you could still think, you could still feel, you could still breathe and everything. It's not fatal, but it's like it just keeps you from moving. You know what I mean? I forgot what's the word for it, man. I want to say neurotransmitter incapacitation. I want to say that's it. I'm pretty sure it's not, but it's something to that effect. But yeah, man, that was an experience, man. That's something I never. I think it just came down to like in the military, like learning how to swim, or running a certain distance, or things like that. Like I feel like it was one of those type of challenges.
So now I got another question for you, Dazzy. I didn't even know we was getting ready to go, but since we here, I gotta ask. So how long are you typically supposed? Okay, so if you get tased, how long is the person that's tasing you supposed to tase you for before letting go?
5 seconds. It lasts 5 seconds, regardless if they hold the trigger down or not. You have to release the trigger and then re-engage. So it's 5 seconds when it hits you. So
Okay.
regardless if they holding it down, it's only gonna hit you for 5 seconds.
So what can that 5 seconds really feel like, though?
Eternity, bro. Like it feel like it's never gonna stop.
That's why we don't need to go to hell. There's different degrees of hell from what I hear. We don't want to go.
Bruh, that was crazy, man. But
Wow.
yeah, so that was one thing. We'll stick to the first one. I would say posting on YouTube, because
Okay.
I felt like that was just putting yourself out there with an ideal, putting yourself out there with just something, you know what I mean, something that you
Pretty much, that's like pretty much putting a name to it.
putting a name to it,
Yeah.
right, man? So what about you?
So for me, man, one thing that I've done this year that I've never done in my life before. I went to therapy, man. Went to therapy, and like that was big because, you know, it's a I don't know, man. It's within our community. It's not
it's
a
not
welcome.
something that's talked about.
Yeah, it's not a welcome occurrence really in our community.
You
It's
kind
like
of look that weak if you do it.
man, we kind of look at it like it's a death sentence.
Right.
You going to get what?
Right, bro. Bro,
You all right?
ain't nothing they can tell me, bro.
Yeah,
I don't already
exactly,
know.
exactly.
You know
But
what I'm saying?
I will say, you know, I will say this much since I've said what I said. I'm a firm believer that anybody that's battled with trauma in their life before and they've been trying to like hold it together and really just not really talking to a lot of people about whatever it may be, please, I urge you, please, find somebody to talk to that you feel you can trust, first of all, because that's the first issue. A lot of people, that's why they don't want to talk to nobody. You know, whether it's race related or not, it's like the fact that people don't feel like they can trust somebody.
It's that judgmental type of thing, man.
Exactly.
You feel like you're gonna be judged.
But exactly, like, you know, when you talking about healing, you know, well, you weren't talking about healing, but I'm talking about healing.
That one thing that you never did before.
Well, no, I remember what we were talking about, but what I was gonna say is, you know, with healing doesn't happen without putting yourself in an uncomfortable position to be vulnerable enough to really, like, because that's what it is.
Right.
It's like, even when you, like, going back to seasonal stuff, like when you gardening, you can't just, you know, you can't rip, you know, a stem off of a weed and say, okay, I've done my job. You got to go. You got to get to the root of the cause. And that, a lot of time, man, even when you
gonna break
dealing
a sweat.
with, man, look here,
You
you're
know
gonna
what I'm
break
saying?
more than the sweat a lot of time. You know what I'm saying, brother?
Hands gonna be callous.
Sometimes it's a struggle, you know, and through a struggle, you know what I'm saying, that's honestly through a good struggle, whether that be, you know, doing yard work or whatever, that's what makes your hands a little harder, that makes them a little tougher, that makes
more resilient.
Exactly. And resistant, you know, a little more.
That's real.
And that's what, you know, for us, man, when you dealing with something traumatic, that's what it takes. You got to be open to airing it out, and, you know, positively.
That's true.
You know, so that's just what I would like to take and leave that, you know, with anyone under the sound of our voice, you know, like, really and truly, man, woman, whoever, you know, just don't look at it and don't think, you know, like you are less than if you decide to go and seek help, because really and truly, man, anybody that's living each and every day, we haven't made it to the point in our life without help.
Right.
So if we can get that in our minds, like, even like you go to school, you need help. Like
100%.
On your job, even if it's your first day on a new job, you still need help. You have to be taught something, you know, whatever, you know. But you have to be open to, you know,
that's
open
real,
to
man.
receiving.
I think too, man, like, a lot of times we are unaware of all the services that's available, man.
This is true.
And it's like, it's crazy, man. And for me, it's like, whether it started with me in school, man. Like, my mom was a teacher and she taught me a lot. Education was real big. So it's like all these services, whether it be tutoring, was like the first one I got introduced to, camps, different things that you can put your kid in as far as like acting and doing different plays. I remember that. And then just like moving forward, man, all these different services, like you said, with therapy and all these different ways to get it, I think it's important to talk about them, because maybe some people not aware of them, or maybe people just don't think they trustworthy. You know what I mean? Because the more you talk about something, the more people become aware of it.
This is true.
The more, both good and bad, the more people accept it. You know what I'm saying? So I think for me, I think it's very helpful to talk about the good services that are out there, so that people become aware and people are more accepted of it.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
And, you know, a lot of people like to use the excuse of, man, I can't go and I can't seek no counseling anyways or therapy because, you know, I can't afford it. A lot of times if you have insurance, nowadays they will help you out if you have insurance. So, like, just don't look for an easy way out of what we already expecting to be tough. I mean, sometimes it is what it is, but the toughest thing is us. Again, I say it again, you know, take yourself out of the situation. Like we could be what's hindering our own success a lot of times. Just take self out of the way and say, you know what? At least let me go and do this for
But you
my
know what
children.
we say though? I got it.
But you don't have it.
That's what we say though.
Yeah.
That's our thing.
Oh, that's what we tell somebody else.
Man, don't worry about it, bro.
Yeah, I got this.
I'm straight,
Yeah.
bro. You great. It's all good, bro.
You straight, but you're really wrong. You know, it's like, man, really, you're crooked because you're not straight.
You feel me?
You're
man?
walking crooked. Everybody can see.
Everybody can see it already.
That brother, man. That
You
brother
going
ain't
through
been
it,
right
man.
since the '80s, man. You know. Hey, like for example, that brother, the brother was hooping and he didn't fell on his hip. He get up, I'm good. You be like, bro, that brother he never recovered from that. You know what I'm saying? Bro, why you won't just go to the doctor? Nah, I'm good.
That's funny.
You know what I'm saying? I ain't going to, but they ain't about to nail me with another bill. You know what I'm saying? But, bro, your hip, bro, like. For real, brother ain't been right since the '80s. And, hey, now all of a sudden you finally, brother getting married. That's what it takes, brother. Finally getting married. But this is something we do oftentimes. We mess around and finally meet somebody that can sway us to go and do what's right. True. And sometimes you wait too long and not. Someone, sir, Mr. Jones. I'm gonna have to tell you now. Yes, we can. If you would have got this scene about when it first happened, right. you wouldn't have had to go up under the, you know. But what I'm saying is you're going to have surgery.
That's it.
But
bro.
It's a possibility. Even after the surgery, you still might kind of walk a little different.
But, hey, man, that's real though, man. But then what you say, man? I should have been and got this done.
Yeah. But at that point in time, when you sit up there and the people telling you this news, the only thing you can go ahead and replay and then press play. I'm straight. I got it. For real.
Bro, that's
it's
funny,
like,
dog.
Yeah.
That's real though, man. You're a fool for that.
Well, we got to understand the seasons, man.
You said something too, man. You said that I think like going back, tying it back into finding one thing that you never done before, never tried before, no matter the size, right? I think that's a part of adventure, right? And like as men, we need that adventure, like that kind of like chase, that type of thing, man. It invigorates us.
Hey, let me say something about that. That's funny. Now we're getting ready to get into this. I sense a shift happening, right? So this chase, the chase normally is the hunt that we talk about.
Right.
They talking about for men. They say a lot of times with us, they say for most men, like that's what it is. Like that's what invigorates us. It's like the hunt. It's like
it is.
So if you think about that, what excites people about a hunt? Nothing's being given to them. They got to go out there and work for something.
Right. You got to build it with your own hands.
Exactly.
Develop it.
So now, if you catch something that a lot of times that's when you excited because I did that. Yeah, I did that.
Right.
I caught something.
Right.
Like some people surprised. They say, I caught it.
Right.
Wait. I did that. But it's like, man, why is it like that, man? That a lot of times the results that come from when we got to really get out there and grind and we really got to get out there and make things happen, the results feel so much different than when you're giving something. It's like, think about it, if you were walking across you're talking about them skits, this is one. Like when you walk across the stage, I want you to just imagine a world. This would be a perfect world. Imagine a perfect world where, graduation day came around. You never went to school one day, but you still graduate. And they just going to give you your diploma. You walk up. How would you even accept that?
Right.
No, like seriously. I
was about to say.
You don't even look at them.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Now you so bougie. You go up there and get it.
You got a bag full of other ones that you just received that day.
Get it in.
Yeah, yep. Just put it in the bag.
Hey, exactly. Then somebody might take it and walk right across the. But like seriously,
that's real.
But the privilege and just that hard work, the grind, going through all of that, all of it, man. Them long nights up, all that, man. You walking across that stage, man,
right.
and you 2 steps from receiving this piece of paper. Now we talking about
a piece. Tears.
We talking about a piece of paper. A piece of paper that pretty much say you did it.
That's it.
You did it.
That's it. Bro. You did it from here.
Exactly. In black and white.
That's it, bro.
But you like, Ain't nobody can take this. Ain't nobody can take this away from you.
Nah, man.
So for that moment when you've been rehearsing and these people tell you what you're not supposed to do, but then for a moment you then flipped out because you just get overwhelmed with joy.
I done paid y'all all this money. Man, I done did all of this, bro. Come on, you gotta let me get a hand clap at least.
Man, look here, man. Brother might get that thing and ain't no telling what words might come out of his mouth when he get that, the way he touched that. You can already tell.
Even before that, you already turned into just sitting in the stands. You know what I'm saying? You super turned sitting there.
Hey, it's on your row.
Yeah.
Oh
bro,
boy, hey, that's it. Hey, you like, boy, hey, brother, I'm here, baby. Hey, that's what it started in your mind. I'm here, baby. Hey, a brother up there like this here.
Line done went ahead. They like, hey, go.
Hey, exactly. Now you got a long pause in it. You ain't following nothing. These people that went over
that's
and they
funny,
didn't.
Bro.
Hey, they specifically pointed you out and told you.
Rehearsal.
Now, Mac, look, don't get out there like you don't know how to act. Yes, ma'am. Yes, Miss Susie, I got it. I got it.
You already got the celebration already in your hand.
But the celebration already started. When you at that line, that's it, Dave.
But why is that though? I think it's because you got to pay for it, bro. Like you got to, for real, you got to pay for it. You got to earn it, man. Like you got
to pay for it more than twice.
Yeah, man. What you mean by that?
You got to pay for it more than twice. You pay for it through what you endure. And then you still got to pay for the cap, gown, all that too.
That's real,
you're paying for it more than twice.
But if it's given to you, you don't have to fork over anything for it. It's like it don't matter, right? It's meaningless, man. It's like, and that goes into so much, bro. I ain't even gonna go there, but like that goes into like relationships. That goes into like material items, things like that, man, bro.
Like
I remember even with your shoes. I don't know if that ever experienced a lot when I had to buy my shoes or like
all
when
that,
I was told like, yo, this is you mess up them pair of shoes, you're gonna wear them all year. And I had to get on the toothbrush, bro.
Boy, look here.
That's
how it works. Yeah.
Come on, bro.
But that just goes.
I'm ready to jack somebody up for just hitting a heel of mine, bro.
See, that might be the issue what's going on in the club these days. Brother say, I don't want to pull out that toothbrush tonight.
But even something that's small, though. You know what I'm saying? Like, it boils down to you have to, it's a give and take. You know what I'm saying?
It is.
Give to get. You know what I mean? Man. Because if not, you're not really going to appreciate it, bro.
You won't.
You know what I'm saying? But like I was saying with
you will appreciate it when it's gone.
That's it. When you done lost it.
Let them be limited editions that your parents then went out and bought you of something. And you like, man,
it is what it is.
My parents bought this. I'm good. You know what I'm saying? Hey, so then be it, man.
Years later,
they'll get it again, man. That's how people think too, man. If they get messed up, they'll get it again. Then all of a sudden, you mess around and you really like them pairs, and then all of a sudden, they're not for sale them.
Right.
I was
about to say, things turn into collectibles and all of that. Oh man, come on. Now you was sitting on a couple grand, couple grand, bro. Now
that's about how you treated it the first time.
100%, bro. You know what I mean? So I think like I was saying with the adventure, man, I think that like, if you don't do things that you never done before, never tried before, within reason, of course, then it's gonna get to a point to where you won't do them. You know what I mean? And then you're gonna realize you can't do them. And then so much time done passed to where you would if you could. You know what I'm saying? I think, like I said earlier, man, life, these things, learning how to deal with unpredictability, learning how to deal with fear, learning how to embrace discomfort. Those things build you, man, to keep you from getting crushed. So one day you're gonna look back on life and you're gonna be like, man, I wish I would have. You know what I'm saying? So I think that to sum it all up, you're given a life on earth, man. You're given this one life on earth. Live it in its entirety.
This is true.
Live it, man.
That's what it is. Live it to the fullest.
I'm telling you, bro, because you given one life on earth, man, and you given that life. And if you want a different life, if you want something different in your life, you have to earn that. You know what I mean? So I think that's real big. And shouts out to that YouTube page, man. It's a dope YouTube page. Like I said, I just seen a couple videos I liked. And I think that, through grinding and hard work, no matter what you go through it, because what you go through grinding and hard work is what you're gonna appreciate. It ain't the most times it's not even the prize. Like the prize is cool, but it's like, bro, you know what I had to go through to get this? You know what I mean? That's the part that you really appreciate. And you carry that on to the next challenge.
Well, you better speak, man.
That's real, bro. You know what I'm saying? So let me see what else I had. Invite discomfort. Yeah. So that was pretty much it, man. That's all that was notes I had, man. I did have a word for thought. Unless you want to throw something in, that's all
Go
good.
ahead, man. You go ahead.
Word for thought, man. It's, 30 minutes a day. You know what I mean? 30 minutes a day, I think, is something that you could put towards something. You know what I mean? Whether it's, reading, meditation, whether it's practicing something, whether it's doing a budget, whether it's reading. You know what I mean? Like, whatever it is, man, 30 minutes of preparation a day, I feel like, whether it's at the morning or the night or on your lunch break, I think that'll do numbers, man. So, like, if you could plan out, if you can't do 30 minutes a day, do 30 minutes twice a week, 30 minutes 3 times a week. I think that's real powerful, man. It helps for me. And I think I just wanted to pass it on because I feel like it'll help others too.
So, excuse me, just like listening to you, and I just came up with, a word. Well, it's a word for thought, but it's more like a tip. I got a tip. Create your own screen.
What you mean by that?
What I mean by that is this here. So in life, when we often function up under this Simon Says type of system in which we are taught to either go one way or the other, a lot of times, it's like, man, you know what I mean? Like that falling in line.
Right. Yeah. Being told what to do.
Exactly.
Following a certain trend, following this. All
a lot of us, we naturally want to buck against something anyways. But why do we want to buck against something? It's because somehow, some way within our being, we feel like it's something that we can actually take and do for self. It's something that we can create, something that we can produce, that doesn't necessarily have to look straight, like a straight line oftentimes, like the straight line that we forced a lot of times to get in, So what I mean when I say create your own screen, if you look at the veins on your arm, right, like we talked about this before, it's one arm. You got one arm on both sides, one arm, but then you have multiple streams, which are evident in the appearance of a vein. It's like those are your screens. The veins are your screen. So what I'm saying is, if you thought about your life, right, and you really take and think, it doesn't take much to create your own screen. You just got to think about what it is that you're great at doing, right? And also with that, it takes a little sacrifice. And like you said, 30 minutes a day could create that screen.
Right.
But you could just take and, plug in and say, hey, from this job, I'm able to bring X amount of dollars in. And oftentimes the first thing that a lot of people do when they get the money is, number one, they're looking at, okay, I got to spend the money. One way or the other, I got to spend it.
Right.
But even with that, I come from a household in which, I was raised to believe that, first thing you should do with your money is give God his 10%.
Gotta do the 10.
Then from that, you pay your bills. But let's break that down a little more. So if you had it where, like, for example, most people have direct deposit. So if you got direct deposit taking, you can even have it where, you can have 10% going into an account.
I was about to say that.
And then you could take
accounts.
Exactly. And then you could take and create another account. You can bring another percentage out of an account, put it into this account. And every time you get paid, you're not even seeing that.
Right.
So now what's left, that's, go ahead and get them bills paid. And then, you can make movements however you see fit to make when it comes to, what's going on within the house, with the children, with yourself, gas, everything else, So when you, by the end of the year, look inside of that account and see what that screen look like, And that's what I mean, create your own screen.
I like that.
And from that, what you also need to do is you need to come up and you need to really like write out a plan, like what it is that, find out whatever, your passion, your purpose is, and whatever that, whatever you amass from that particular screen, put it toward whatever it is that ultimate calling is, and let that be what it is,
Right, bro. And can I add something to that,
Go
bro?
ahead, man.
A stream ain't got to be river size, ocean
It don't,
size, bro.
man. What we talking about is just starting it. Yeah,
you feel me?
but in due time,
that go in that Simon Says thing you said,
Yeah.
because Simon Says, I tell you that it's got to be this big.
it got to be huge.
It's got to be this big.
Yeah,
You feel me?
It ain't successful if it ain't huge.
If you can't do this with it, bro, you ain't doing nothing.
But guess what, man?
Come on, man. Come on.
Exactly. But everything had to hit start from somewhere.
Right.
And screens tend to take, and they can become attached to, other moving bodies of water, and then they become larger bodies of water. And that's
Right.
it's just proper alignment. That's what we speaking about.
That's it, bro.
That's it.
I'm gonna add one thing, bro. I forgot to do it a couple. I think the last 2 weeks. I'm gonna add this book, man. Dr. Dennis Kimbro. He got a book called The Wealth Choice. I believe it's called The Wealth Choice, but look up Dr. Dennis Kimbro. It's a book he interviewed all the black successful millionaires in America, and he wrote down 7 principles. And I'm gonna read them real quick. Principle 1: prosperity begins in the mind and ends in the purse. If you think about that, man, it begins in the mind and ends in the purse, like what you was talking about with the idea. Number 2: make the decision, I'm not gonna be poor. The greatest gift I have is the ability to change my mind. Gotta change your mind. If you don't change your mind, your habit's not gonna change. If you don't change your mind, your way of thinking, your way of dealing with situations is not gonna change. Number 3: believe in myself when no one else will. I feel like that's self-explanatory. Number 4: know my unique abilities and gifts. My purpose will find or define my talents and strengths. And there's so many ways to locate your unique talents and gifts, man. If you don't know, I like personality tests. I took a few in the past, man. I think they helped out. Asking friends and family, I think that helps out. But just, there's multiple ways to find that out. Number 5: how may I serve thee? Service is the price I pay for the space I occupy. Customer service is a must. And customer service doesn't always have to be with a business, man. Customer service is how you interact with people. People that hold conversations with you are your customers. You know what I'm saying? People that you talk to on a daily basis are your customers, man. So it's like customer service is a must, because if you are a pleasurable person, doesn't mean you have to be like that all the time. But if you are someone that people are okay with talking with and speaking with, that could lead to other avenues and other opportunities.
Or drawn toward.
Right. You know what I'm saying? Number 6: thou should be in service for thyself. Find time for yourself. Like E said, man, make an account for thyself so that you can build upon that. And number 7: make that money grow. You know what I mean? I'm going to end on that, man. E, if you ain't got nothing else.
Man, look at, man. I agree with all that. I approve this message.
Appreciate you, E, man. This has been a Real Talk podcast. Please tune in every Thursday, man. Tell a friend, tell a family member. Like, share, and comment. Make sure you do those 3 things. This is the Real Talk podcast, and come back next Thursday. Peace.
Real talk.
We appreciate you giving us a listen. If you like this episode and would like to engage with us or support, reach out through our social media platforms, linked in the description, and tune in every Thursday to check out new episodes. See you next week.